Hi, my name's Claire Cooper and I play Jackie McQueen, and my character currently plays the central role in Hollyoaks' rape storyline. Today I'm going to be speaking to Fiona Elvines from Rape Crisis, and we're going to be discussing the issues around consent, the facts and the myths about rape, but also the aftermath, what support is there for people after a sexual assault. Hi Fiona, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about Rape Crisis and how the organisation does things and works?
Sure. Rape Crisis is a support organisation for women who have survived rape or childhood sexual abuse or any form of sexual assault, no matter how long ago it was, so historic cases and recent cases. There's about 50 rape crisis centres, there's a little bit more now I think, across England and Wales, offering a variety of services from face-to-face counselling, advocacy, training, therapeutic groups, some holistic support, and also there's a national helpline for women that need to disclose, just to begin with, take those first little steps.
Okay. Obviously I'm doing a really delicate subject with the story that I'm telling at the moment, and something that I've thought about is the fact that consent seems very difficult to prove and define. What are your views on that?
I think consent actually isn't that difficult to define. If we really put it down to the simple terms of what consent is, we know when we're having sex with someone if they want to have sex with us. You know, throughout the whole course, you know, consent is ongoing. You have to continually be negotiating consent. Just because you've said yes at the beginning doesn't mean you consent to absolutely anything that happens in that entire encounter.
So even during intercourse, a woman can still say no?
Definitely. You can say no at any point. It's not ongoing that you've given consent. Also, the fact that you've had sex with someone before doesn't mean that you've got ongoing consent for any sex that they want to have later on or any type of sex that they want to have.
What are the clear ways that a woman can signify her consent?
Again, I think that we need to think really practically about what it's actually like when you're in that moment with someone. So rather than someone thinking about ways that they can clearly show they are giving consent, we need to be thinking about ways that a man can be sure that someone is consenting. So obviously, I mean, the first thing that I always think about is someone enjoying it? Is someone doing things back to you? Is it actually a reciprocal encounter, what is happening? As I think, you know, enough people know by now, consent doesn't mean that you have to be saying yes. Not giving consent doesn't mean you have to be saying no. It's about actually showing throughout the process that it's consensual, it's something that you want to be doing.
And understanding each other's body language.
Yeah.
Okay. Fiona, would you say that it's only rape if a woman fights?
No, I mean, if you think about what we just said, it's not only rape if a woman fights. What happens a lot of the time if someone is being raped is you can go in complete shock. You know, this is a man that you thought you could trust, this is someone that you have trusted, this may be someone that you wanted to have sex with up until that point, and suddenly something about the way he was having sex with you or the way that he was approaching you made you scared, or you didn't want to do it anymore. And so the body's response in that instance can be to freeze. I think about it in terms of a rabbit in the headlights, which a lot of people know about. The body response just is completely overwhelmed by the shock of what's happening.
Do you think there's any steps that a woman should take in order to keep herself safe?
When we're thinking about rape, I think we need to be really clearly putting it in the context that it's a crime. And so the person who has the responsibility to ensure that the crime is not committed is the criminal, the potential criminal. So instead what we need to be thinking about is we need to be thinking about the steps that men can take to ensure that a woman is consenting.
And what would you say?
Ask her.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so ask her.
Yeah, really basic. Ask her. If you see that someone is scared, if someone's reciprocating, look into someone's eyes. You can see in someone's eyes whether or not they're really okay with what's going on.
Something that I find really interesting is that you refer to rape victims as actual survivors. Can you explain why you do this?
The best way I think that I can explain it to you is I think about a plane crash, and if there's been a plane crash and some people have died and some people have walked away, you know, the people that have walked away are survivors of the plane crash, the people that have died are victims of the plane crash. We think about it in terms of breast cancer as well. I recently read a statistic that a woman's more likely to be raped in her lifetime than she is to get breast cancer, which is huge and I think puts it into perspective for a lot of people. But women who have survived breast cancer, you know, wear it as a badge of honour. They've survived something, they've gotten through it, they're in a process of surviving. It kind of shows the active resilience strategies that women use to overcome what is a potentially devastating act.
What advice would you give someone who is a survivor of a sexual assault?
I would say you can get through this. You can get through this. You're not going to always feel the way that you feel now, and you do deserve to get specialist help. There are people out there to help you. There are people out there that know what you're going through and that really want to hear from you and want to be there for you. And so I would say contact your local rape crisis centre, call the national helpline. You can call anonymously, it's completely confidential. You can just start to get out some of the ways that you've been coping with what has happened to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fiona.
Pleasure.
It's been a
Thank
great
you,
help. Thanks.
Cheers.
If you or anybody you know has been affected by this storyline, please visit e4.com/Hollyoaks or go to www.rapecrisis.org.uk where you can find support.